This may be the baddest F-150 on the planet. It does 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. It pulls a full-size camper like a boss. This truck weighs 5,300 pounds, and it will do a mid 10-second quarter mile on the street. We call this supercharged beast the Hammer because it nails everything. If you're new to Backroad Driver, this truck is actually owned by my brother Sam, and he's gonna take us all the way through the build, show us everything he's done, and he's even gonna take us for a rip.
Hey guys, so when I built this truck, I had one thing in mind: make it good at as many things as possible. So I wanted it to be fast, I wanted to be able to run to Home Depot and throw stuff in the back, not be worried about it. I did need to be able to tow a pretty large camper, take my family and dogs and all that kind of stuff out on camping trips, and I wanted it to look cool. So I tried to build this truck around, let's make it pretty good at almost everything. And it's not a race truck, it's not a big off-road beast, but it can do almost all of those things. Let's start with the performance and why this thing is fast. So this is a Coyote V8 5-liter. This has the supercharger on it though, from Whipple. So this is their 3-liter Whipple supercharger. Pretty fast right out of the box, but with a few more mods, you can go really fast. So I've thrown on a fuel system, larger injectors. Along with those fuel upgrades, I was able to throw on a smaller pulley that increases the boost. It's going to give you a lot more horsepower, so that's kind of where we're at with this motor. It's putting about 800 wheel horsepower down to the ground. You know, what is that, like 950, 960 if you were going to go buy this at the dealership, and they're claimed numbers, but this thing actually puts down around 800 wheel. And you guys won't believe what a 4-door truck with 800 horsepower feels like. Up underneath the truck, we've got 2M fabrication long tube headers and a Y pipe. Now, I did have catalytic converters on this truck at one time, but we have since removed those. So you'll see that right here, and there was one here. But now we've got a Borla 400-115 is the model number, XR1 exhaust on this thing. Now, this is built for pre-runners. It's made for basically race trucks that run in the desert. And the reason for this muffler is it's got stainless steel packing, which is going to last a whole lot longer than your typical fiberglass type packing. I've also got a little Black Widow bullet muffler here, and the exhaust is out the back. One interesting thing I've done, I got tired of having tips on the truck. They're always dirty. They've always got mud or rubber or something on them. So I just went ahead and cut this off short of extending out the side. So from the outside, it's a nice clean look, and I don't have a tip to keep clean all the time. And back up here towards the front, we've got the transmission. This particular 10R80 unit is built by Scott Richardson of Richardson Performance. And what he does is he adds clutches and steels in certain clutch packs. He also upgraded my CDF drum, which has been a big problem on some of these 10R80s. This one's built to handle a little over 1,000 horsepower if needed. This right here is going to be better for towing as well as performance, and hopefully this one lasts forever. So if you guys haven't ever built a vehicle like this, this thing is tuned aftermarket by Ken at Oz Tuning. I highly recommend those guys. But basically, he's made me 3 different tunes, so I can run 93 pump gas with this thing. I can switch to a tune that allows me to tow a lot easier. I can also switch to another tune running E85 that makes this thing really, really fast.
If you hit subscribe to the channel, then I'm gonna go ahead and list the parts, every single mod done on this truck, everything about the build. If you don't click subscribe, you're not allowed to look at that down in the description, so don't look at it.
Appearance wise, I wanted to make this truck look really cool, but not be so over the top that it was just brash and stood out, because this is a daily driver. So started out with a wrap from Epic Designs. We did a top hat look, and on the hood we've got this cool applique with the fang look on the hood to kind of make it look a little sporty. Also on the back we've got an applique. I think this looks really nice. The color was picked to match a lot of the trim pieces on this vehicle. The grille and a lot of these trim pieces on the side were that color, so just thought that accented everything well. So on the lights, we tinted them. We went around the edges to kind of knock this down a little bit and not make it so garish. We also tinted the fog lights down here, as well as the rear tail lights and the third brake light. So it basically just gave this whole truck a darker smoked look. So every truck needs a set of wheels and tires. We went with some Venom Rex wheels in this graphite color that was gonna match everything. That's gonna tie in everything with those same colors with the wrap and a lot of the trim. Right now we're running a set of Nitto Recon grapplers. These are 305 5520. So that's basically a metric sizing for like a 33 1250, something like that. What I like about these tires is it does look really aggressive, but it still has great street manners. Isn't loud, doesn't roar or anything, and I still get pretty good traction when I'm hauling down the road. As for towing mods, since I do use this thing to tow a pretty large camper, we've got a car hauler, and I've had most of these vehicles that we have on the channel and moved them around from shop to shop before. So I had several key things that needed to be upgraded to allow this thing to be really good at its job, and that's starts with these brakes by APB. They're going to have a bigger rotor size. I believe these are 16 inches. That's, I believe, the largest on the market, bigger than the Bears and your other brands. These have been really good, and I know a lot of other brands, people have had problems with them on these 21 F150s. The best part about these brakes, besides how well they can help you stop, is they're big, red, and they give this thing that sporty appearance. That makes them worth the price of admission, which they are not cheap, guys, but if really wanting to go to that next level, you need to stop. If you got a fast truck, you better have some big brakes, and so I would highly recommend these. You can tell in the front of this truck that it does have a level. I've got a set of Falcon struts in the front and shocks in the back. The struts in the front are adjustable and allow you to pick several different levels of ride height. The really cool part about these Falcon shocks is that they have 3 different adjustable levels. You got regular for just daily driving. You've got a level here that's going to stiffen up the rebound on these, and that's for having a big load in your bed. And then if you're towing a big heavy load, you've got number 3, and that's going to make these as stiff as possible to get that rebound, to keep you from having porpoising and that sort of thing. So these really help with that stiffness when you need it, but they get soft when you don't. And from underneath, you get a little better view of the Falcon shocks. You can see that they do have this rock and brush guard to keep everything nice and protected. And as well, the finish is very nice on these. And while we're under here, here's the Roadmaster active suspension. So this is probably the best view to show you guys. You can see that it attaches over your axle right here, and it runs up over the leaf spring carrier in the back. And this spring is going to get tensioned without the wheels or weight of the truck on it. And then when you put everything back on, it's carrying a load while resting, and that keeps your back end from sagging and gives you all of those added features and benefits with towing. A lot of you guys are going to notice that your rear end doesn't squat as much. You're much more balanced, and you're able to carry a heavier load without getting that sag and getting the weight off of your front wheels. So inside the truck, it's basically your stock Lariat sport package in here. It's a really nice place to be. The finishes on everything are nice and have held up well. We're sitting at almost 40,000 miles on this truck now. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's got leather. It's got a big, huge 12-inch screen. It did have the upper end B&O system, the Unleashed, but being how we do things around here, I ripped that out. I've replaced everything with high-end audio equipment from DD Audio, Arc Audio, a lot of custom speakers in here. So the sound system in here is my major mod.
It's virtually impossible to show what a sound system sounds like on YouTube, but I have normal ears, and Sam has been listening to sound systems for his entire life, and he's completely deaf. So he's going to turn it all the way up, and we're going to see how bad it hurts my head. Last time I was in here, it was bad. It's not just the bass, it's the treble. It pierces. All right, turn it off. It's a lot. Like, it's really, really loud. So if you've like grown up with sound systems and he's had them all, this one kicks all those butt.
So now I'm going to take you guys for a little joyride. You know, Brad's been in here before, but you guys need to experience this thing. First of all, to launch this, you've got to be in four-wheel drive. Otherwise, it's way more fun. So in 4 high, I mean, a little launch here.
Oh gosh. Oh wow, that's it. You said 60.
Now,
you're not.
I'm sorry, man. My foot
His foot
late.
got stuck. All right. So my observation is, yes, I've been launched in this thing before, but since he's had his transmission built, that shift was violent. Like, I think you can probably see me shaking in the camera.
The shifts are a lot more violent. If this were on the E85 tune,
It's even crazier.
The truck is a whole lot more violent. You know, if you're getting up to speed and you want to launch the thing,
You're going to go
like 50 something. I got.
Okay. Oh, that's 3 digits. That's. Oh.
It will go.
That's from 50, dude. And this thing weighs 5,300 freaking pounds.
Yeah, it's maybe even more. You know.
We need to put it on some scales. That's crazy.
It's pretty heavy. It is an aluminum body truck. They're lighter than your Dodges and stuff, but
it's still crazy. So, all right, traction in 2-wheel when you don't lock it into 4-wheel high.
Without having 4-wheel drive on and trying to give this thing a lot of juice, I mean. It will just chirp through the gears.
It went all the way to 70, spinning off and on intermittently. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, so basically if you want to go fast from a start, you basically have to have it in 4-wheel drive. So
that was awesome. It's controlled chaos, I guess is the way I'd say that. So we've got it good and clean. We haven't done a brake test on this in a long time. I'll secure my cargo, but let's go like, I don't know, whatever number you want. You just call it out.
See how fast it'll stop.
Show us locking it down here.
So if we wanted to stop really fast from, let's say, 66 miles an hour.
Oh gosh! Ah! Oh my Lord.
The big brake kit on this really helps with coming to a stop in emergency situations.
I hurt my sternum really bad. I was not ready for that, dude. I felt like I just got clotheslined in football or something.
Yeah, my back seat thought it got clotheslined too. That
might be as impressive as the launch.
Yeah,
let's say
it literally stops this truck with 2 big boys in it.
Like a boss. Dang, that's crazy. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you give our video the thumbs up. Give it the thumb, guys. Hey, and make sure you check out another one right here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.